Welcome to the Penny for Your Thoughts podcast. This is your weekly insight into small businesses of London. We'll be talking to founders to find out what makes them tick and reveal the ins, the outs, the ups and the downs of owning a small business. Today we'll be chatting to Olivia Jenkins, who is the founder of D Louise. Olivia created D Louise in 2021 during lockdown as a result of feeling unfulfilled from her day job and uninspired by the lack of high-quality, affordable jewellery on the market. The pandemic was a perfect opportunity for Olivia to dream of different career paths and really get that motivation to take the leap and go out on her own and make her own business. Shall we start by talking about where it all began?
Yes, definitely. So I used to work in a media job and the pandemic happened and I basically hated it and was just working from home. It used to be a very social job and I used to go out all the time, like always going out for meals, everything like that. And then the pandemic happened, so the role completely changed. And I was basically I just felt like I had no purpose and I was looking for something to do, like start a business, and I always wanted to be like my own boss sort of thing. So I started researching things that I could do, and jewellery has always been a pain point for me because I love jewellery but I hate taking it off. Like I am terrible, like
I totally get it.
Yeah,
I totally get it.
I just want to wear it all day every day, so that was always like a pain point for me to sort of like expand on. So I started researching products and materials, and I basically found that stainless steel metal was a lot more durable than what main jewellery brands use. So I sort of felt like I had something to go off of that, and then it just sort of spiraled out of that. It just was like a snowball effect, and I basically then just started the brand last January, and since then it's just like taken off and it's just gone from strength to strength.
I can't believe it's only been a year.
I know, it is literally crazy.
What have been sort of the milestones along that year?
So definitely one of the milestones was being able to leave my job. So I started it in January and then in April I left. So it was it was in May, and I think I did like a promotion like 3 for 2 over the bank holiday weekend or something like that. And I had over 100 orders that weekend. So on the Monday I had to go to work, and then after work I had to pack all these orders, and I was just like, you know what, this is just like crazy. I can't do both anymore. So I literally quit that Friday. I remember going on Zoom to my manager and I was like, I'm leaving to do my own jewellery business, and he was like, okay. He was almost looking at me like, okay, good luck. Like, I don't know.
That must have felt really good though.
Yeah, oh my god, I was so nervous. It was like a really, really big decision for me, but it meant that I was able to like not have a split attention and was able to like really, that as soon as I quit and I only focused on that, it really, really started to take off, which was good.
That's so exciting. It's just so amazing that so much has happened in just a year.
Yeah.
I can imagine there's probably been a few little plot holes as well, though, a few challenges along the way.
Yeah.
Any that you want to share with us?
Yeah, so I think like logistics was a huge challenge for me. I think I was a bit naive going into the business, which is obviously like a good thing. So I had no clue how like fulfillment worked. I just thought that you had to do it yourself, and I had no clue how to package things. And when we moved to a fulfillment centre, you basically had everything had to be barcoded, and I didn't even really know what a barcode was. So I remember like messaging my warehouse being like, oh, I'm so excited to start, like, where do I get the barcodes from? And they were like, we've never been asked that question before.
Oh no.
And I was like, right, okay, so I need to figure this out. And then basically you need like a barcode license and all this stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so you have to have like a barcode license. And then you get those barcodes. It's really boring, but I had no idea.
Wow, I know, I wouldn't have known that either.
No, honestly, it was crazy. But apart from that, obviously there has been other difficult times, especially with like cash flow, and like because obviously we're a new startup, we didn't really have any, like, we've had no investment, so that was really difficult, but I'm still figuring that out now. But yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Cool. Very happy.
So we've gone over a few things that you weren't expecting, like the fulfillment centres, the barcodes. Is there anything else maybe on a more like personal level with owning a business that you ran into that you weren't expecting?
Yeah, so I think like when you start working for yourself, you really get to know your characteristics and your personality. And I basically wasn't expecting that I could do it. So I never really thought that I could do all of it and run this business and basically make choices that I do every single day. So I think like from a personal level, it was a bit of a mind blown how much you can actually do if you are on your own and there is no one else to do it for you, and you have to like really, really like push yourself and learn so much really, really quickly. So I think that was like unexpected, but really like a positive thing for me.
Say like you learn more about who you are as a person. Like what would you say that you've like particularly figured out about your work ethic and what you can achieve?
So I have found out that I am literally a crazy perfectionist. Like nothing is ever right for me, and I do, like, me and my boyfriend work really closely together because he has his own business, so he really helps me, and he would like approve things and I would look at them and I would be like, I'm not putting that on the website, or I don't like that, or that's not good enough. So I knew that like I have been crazy with like things being absolutely perfect, which I think has helped me and the business, because I won't put anything out there just for the sake of putting it out there. So that's been really, really like interesting for me. I can
see how that's like quite important as well for the industry that you're in, to make sure that your product is like as best as it can be, and then it will stand out against the competition. Which how do you find that? How do you find obviously there's quite a few of these other jewellery brands at the moment. How do you deal with like standing out against the competition, or how have you found that?
I think you just have to be the best. So whatever you do, whatever images, whatever videos, whatever product, you have to just be the best. And like lots of people say to me, oh, I want to start a business, but there's so many of the business that I want to start. And I basically just reply to them and say, that's absolutely fine, you've just got to do it better than them. So you have like, there's obviously a huge market for jewellery and there's loads of jewellery business, but if you have the best content, the best images, the best website, like you will get above them no matter how, like when you start. So you've just got to really pay attention to those details, because it'll pay off down the line, is what I think.
What does that mean to you, like having the best content and having the best images? Like how have you gone about that, and what?
So I think it's finding the best people to do it. I know that sounds a bit cliche, but like you have to have, like our photographer is amazing. We've got a really good videographer. Like I always try and choose like really interesting models. Like you need to have like a really good website developer. Just all these small tiny details that you don't realise that people need, and also you need to invest in it. So in the beginning, we obviously didn't have any money because we weren't making any sales. So I was doing all the photography myself, and it was awful. And it was so bad. It was literally terrible. And then I remember when we did the first photo shoot with my photographer Margot now, and my friend Liv, who's like an influencer and sort of like a part-time model, and honestly, after that photo shoot, I was like, this has just completely changed the brand, because you could see the product so much more. Like with me, it was just like I don't even think it was in focus. So it was awful. But yeah, definitely like that you need to invest in the content and invest in your website, because at the end of the day, that's going to be what's going to convert your customers and why they should choose you over other people.
So if like tomorrow your business was completely like shut down and you were never allowed to, you know, go further with it, you had to completely start again, what would you do differently?
So I think that I would pay attention to like the small details in the beginning, and I also think that I wouldn't rush it. So I think when I first started, I really wanted to get it up and running because I wanted to leave my job. So I was quite rushed, and I always felt this like pressure to do everything as quickly as possible. And like I think like small details that I was talking about just now were overlooked, and like I would get images done which weren't that good and stuff like that, because I was so rushed to get it done. So I would definitely like take it a bit slower and realise that like it's not a race, that you can literally do it whenever you want. But yeah, I think that would be it.
So it seems like it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. Obviously, it's only been a year,
Yeah.
and you've already come really, really far. What do you think is next for you in the pipeline to keep that climbing?
Yeah, so I think that we have really made a mark on the UK. So I think like we're quite well known now, especially in London. There's like a huge demand for our product. So I think the next thing would be to do is to go globally, and I think we're looking at going into America and getting a fulfillment center there, so that in America it'll be like 1 to 2 days delivery, because currently they have to pay import and like all these barriers, but we've seen like a real interest from America, which is so cool. Like it's such an interesting thing. Yeah, so exciting. So yeah, I think if we can make their journey a little bit easier by having our stock there, then it will be really good.
So on this podcast, we do have a little tradition, which is that the previous guest has actually left you a question.
Yeah.
The question left by Sebastian was, what is the biggest success that you've had so far?
Yeah.
But also, what's been your greatest failure?
We held a yoga class, which was so cool, and had like 30 girls come to a studio in Covent Garden. Everyone got loads of jewellery, and it was like a shake after, and we did like a really fun yoga class with this crazy teacher, and it was just like a really, really good vibe, and like everyone, it felt like it really came to life, because obviously we're just online, so you never really see it in like person, or never see customers. Like I never really see a customer, so it was amazing to see like all these girls just go crazy over like something that you've created. So that was really, it's like such a success for me, and it was such like a boost and like a confident boost, and I was just like, that was so amazing. So that was, I would say that would be like my biggest success so far.
And that must be really exciting, because that's kind of like, it's kind of like bringing your community together,
Yeah,
isn't it? Because
exactly.
I understand that you guys are a little bit of a community focused brand.
Yeah,
so being able to
definitely.
see your online community in real life must have just been like a dream come true.
Yeah, honestly, and like communities are so hard to build, especially with like how e-com is now and everything is online, that it is harder. So it was such like, everyone was just talking about the jewellery, and everyone was like, oh my god, I've got that, or I bought that, or like everyone was just like really, really on the same like happy, successful vibe, which was really, really nice. So yeah, it was good.
And then on the other end of the scale,
yes, so I'm sort of going to flip this question. So I would say that my biggest failure would be that I just didn't start sooner. Like I think that if I had just believed in myself and like was able to, if I knew what I knew now, like 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have even gone to uni, and I would have just started a business, because I think that obviously the more time you invest in yourself, like it just gets better. So yeah, it would definitely be that I should have started earlier.
That's a really interesting point, because I know a lot of people believe that the timing of things is usually the right time it would happen. Do you think if you'd started this before uni that you could have?
Oh yeah,
you could have done it back then. That's
I honestly think that if I had started this like 5 years ago, it would be massive. It obviously will be massive at one point, at some point, but I think that it definitely would have been like the right thing to do, because this is the way that the world is going, and e-com is the way that people are just doing things now. So I think obviously I'm still on a very good wave, but in the beginning, if you had caught that wave, you would be very, very big now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Well, it's been really nice talking to you today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
And we'll see you next time.